friends. Today is lesson 4, letter C. Are you ready to begin? All right. Before we do any handwriting, you know that Miss Doree likes to warm up my fingers for handwriting. We've done a couple different exercises already, but today we're going to do something really simple. It's just counting, but the way I want you to count is to use your thumb to hold your other fingers down. So make a 1, let the next finger out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now do it with the other side. Hold these fingers down with your thumb. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now let's see if we can do it together on both sides. Good job. Do your fingers feel a little bit stretched and ready to go? Okay, let's begin by opening our book to page 48. Introducing letter C. When you look at big C and little c, do they look alike? Wow, they look exactly alike. They could almost be twins, except big C is a little bit bigger than little c. So when it asks you if they look alike, I'm going to circle yes. Y for yes. All right, let's look at the lines that we know make all the letters. Do you see a line down in big C? Nope. I don't even see a line across either. What about these slide lines? Do you see that in big C? No. What about this curve right here? That looks exactly like a C. A C is a curve. So let's circle this curve. It's not the other curve. This curve goes the other way, so it's not that one. And I don't see a hook in a C, and I don't see a dot. So I only circled this curve for big C. Now let's do little c. Guess what? Since it's the same as big C, we don't see a line down, we don't see a line across, we don't see these slide lines, but here we see this curve. It looks just like a C. So you can circle that one, and none of these other lines or the dot make a little c. The C's are so easy, it's just a curve. So I think you're going to have an easy time today, although curves can be kind of tricky. So let's turn the page to page 49. Here's big C. We didn't have to take anything apart. It's just a curve. So when you get your pencil, remember your grip right at the bottom by the tip. Use your fingers for support. Start at the star and curve. Start at the star, curve. Start at the star and curve. Do you see those C's? Then at the bottom, when we usually put the lines all together to make the letter, it's still just a curve. So we're going to start at the star and make a curve. Start at the top, curve, 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 curve. All right, I want you to pause the video, get your pencil, and make your C's. Did you do it? Good job, friends. You are getting so smart. Turn the page to 50, and now we're going to do little c. This is going to be just like big C, only a little bit smaller. So we're going to start at the star and curve, curve, curve. And when we trace our little C's, they're just a little bit smaller, so our curve is a little bit shorter. Curve, curve. Okay, it's your turn. Pause the video and make your little C's. All right, friends, good job making your C's. Now, I have to tell you something. Little c is actually going to make 2 sounds. Does that mean it's a vowel? Let's sing the vowel song and make sure. Are some letters that make more sounds. This is what their names are. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. And sometimes letter Y. It likes to copy I. When you sang that song, did you hear a C in there? No, C is a consonant, but it is one of those special consonants that makes two sounds. Do you remember at the beginning of our book when Principal P was telling everybody about the vowels and how they're going to make more sounds? And some of the letters said, hey, we want to make more sounds too. Do you remember on page 27, C, G, and S are consonants that make two sounds, a hard and a soft sound. So let's learn the sounds of letter C. When the little letter C's got to their classroom, they were so excited because Principal P said they were going to learn two sounds. Teacher C gave each of them a set of cymbals. Cymbals are these really big instruments that look like big discs, and when you bang them, they make a really big sound. So they looped their hands through the back of the cymbals. There's a little handle, and she told them to crash them together. It made a terrific clanging sound. Every time the cymbals hit, she told them to make a k sound, just like the cymbal crashing. The little C's crashed their cymbals hard and said, k, k, k. Do you want to give that a try? We don't have any cymbals, but we could pretend our hands are cymbals and we can crash them together by clapping. Try it. K, k, k. That's kind of like the sound a cymbal would make when it's crashing. All right. Now for the soft sound of C. The teacher said it was time to make the soft sound. Instead of hitting hard, they would softly glide the cymbals back and forth, and it made a s sound. Teacher C asked them to practice the soft cymbals and say the sound s, s, s. The little C's practiced their two sounds. They make the hard sound, k, and the soft sound, s. When they were gliding those cymbals back and forth, it made a s sound. So the letter C says k and s, k and s. I shouldn't say s. It doesn't say s. It says s. So you try it. K and s. Okay, I think we're ready to sing the song. All right, we're going to do the actions. C says k, C says s, C says k, k, s. Good job. Did you do it? Let's try one more time. C says k, C says s, C says k, k, s. Good job. All right, you did so good. Can you think of some things around your house that make a k sound? Maybe you have a pet that's a k, k, cat. Maybe you go outside in your garden and you find a k, k, caterpillar. Maybe your favorite dessert is k, k, cake. Well, the soft C also makes some sounds. Maybe in your refrigerator you have some s, s, celery. Celery starts with soft S. Maybe one of your favorite shapes to draw is a s, s, circle. Circle starts with soft C. All right, here are some more things on page 55 that start with hard C, k, and soft C, s. K, k, candy cane, k, k, cards, k, k, carrot, k, k, cow, k, k, cotton candy. That's 2 hard C's. And oh, my picture is a little messed up. A k, k, cat. For soft S, we have a s, s, circus, s, s, circle, and s, s, celery. That's for soft C. So you remember how in our books, the teachers always want to teach the little letters some things that make their sound, some words that start with that sound. But you see that blank whiteboard. A teacher can't teach if there's nothing on there. So you know that teacher C is going to need your help. So remove this page from your book. Have somebody help you tear it out. I didn't do a very good job tearing that time, but that's okay. Now we're going to get our scissors and cut along this outside line. We want to just cut all these pictures out from the paper so we can cut each one individually. That makes it easier. See how my helper hand moves the paper around? Okay. Now I'm going to cut each one of these, and I'm going to speed up the video so I can cut faster. Okay, now, whoops, I have all the pictures cut out for hard C and soft C. Okay, we're going to glue these on. Let me take these down really quick. You need your glue stick for this part. And we're going to put a k, k, cow. We're going to put a k, k, carrot on the whiteboard. We're going to put a k, k, cat. Ooh, here's a soft C, s, s, celery. Another hard C sound, k, k, cards. Ooh, another soft C, s, s, circle. K, k, cotton candy. K, k, candy cane. And the last soft C sound is s, s, circus. That's our last word. All right, good job, friends. Now, you know that after we help teacher put on the pictures on the whiteboard, it's time for us to remember how to write our letters. So we like to rewrite them to give ourselves extra practice. So if you turn to page 49, where big C is, you can practice one more time making 5 big C's. Start at the star and make a curve, curve. And now you can pause the video and make your own capital big C's. Okay, and next we're going to do the little C's. Start at the star and curve, 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 curve. I bet you're getting really good at curves now. You can pause the video and make your own little C's. Okay. I bet you did a great job. So to do some more extensions for letter C, I think it would be fun if you could go around your house and find some things that start with letter C and maybe do a show and tell. You can find some books that have letter C in them, like if you give a cat a cupcake or the Very Hungry Caterpillar. You can make a collage. A collage is a type of art where you cut out different shapes and glue them all together and make it really cool. You could count cars. You could make some cookies or cupcakes. You could cut up carrot sticks, or sometimes I think it's fun to use egg cartons to make a caterpillar. You just turn it upside down and paint it green and it looks like a little caterpillar, and you could add eyes. That's something fun you could do. Well, friends, now that we've done letter A, B, and C, we might need to do a little review to make sure we're remembering all of these letters. So the first thing I want you to remember is all of those letter sounds. I'm going to hold up A, B, and C and see if you remember all of the sounds. Do you remember this sound of A? A says, ah! Make the actions. A says, ah! Do you remember this letter or this sound of A? That's right, A! Put your hands on your hips and act mad like teacher A. A! Do you remember this sound of letter A? That's right. Put your finger in the air and say, ah. That's the ah, broad sound of A. Okay, let's see if you remember the sound of B. Remember when they were boxing and the sound that it makes? Ba, ba, ba. Make that sound with me. Ba, ba, ba. Every time they hit that bag, it made a ba sound. Okay, I hope you remember these letters. We just did them today. Letter C says, clap your hands together and make a k sound. K. And the soft sound, you remember that. Glide your hands back and forth and say s. That's awesome. I'm going to put all these letters up on the whiteboard and we're going to sing the song to review all the sounds. Ooh, I can't wait to see if you remember all of them in the song. We're going to do A, A, ah. We have B, B. I might have to put it right here. We have hard C that says K, and we have soft C that says S. Okay, friends, let's see if you remember. A says A says A says ah. B says ba, B says ba, B says ba, 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 ba. C says ka, C says s, C says k, k, s, k. Good job! Did you do it, friends? I think we might need to try one more time to make sure you remember. Here we go. A says ah, A says A says ah, A, ah. B says ba, B says ba, B says ba, 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 ba. C says ka, C says s, C says k, k, s, k. Good job! You guys are doing so good. I'm so proud of you. You've learned 3 letters and their sounds. Excellent. Okay, I'll just leave those up for now because I want to show you 2 little fun things I like to do. When I've learned about 3 letters, I like to do a review of how to write them too. And so if you happen to have a magnet doodle or something like this that's a magnet, you can have your parent or teacher make a letter for you. Let's do A. A starts at the top and it's a slide. Go back to the top, slide line, and a line across. Have your parent or teacher write that for you first, and then you get to take the tracer tool. Oh, I can't get it out. And go back over it just like your parent or teacher showed you. Start at the top and slide. Go back to the top and slide. Go back to the middle and do a line across. And you can see your line inside of their line. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. And since we know B and C, we'll do the same thing with those letters. Have your parent or teacher make a B for you. Line down, little curve, little curve. And then you take your tracing tool, start at the top, go line down, make your curve and a curve. Do you see how you can see your line inside of their line? Last one is C, our letter of today. Make a big curve. And then you trace it, start at the top and make a curve. See that? Okay, now you can do the lowercase letters because we learned those too. Have a parent or teacher make a little a, which is a curve and a line down. And you can trace it. Curve, line down. See that? You could also do a little b, line down, curve, line down, curve. And the last one, little c, curve. There you go. Another way you could do it is you could have your parent or teacher make the big A and the little a with the tracer tool, and then you get to use this. And this one's really good because it teaches you just to use your thumb and your pointer, so you're getting those fingers really strong. And now this time you trace with this tool. You make your slide lines and line across. Curve, line down. Look at that. Have your parent or teacher make big B and little b. And then you use this tracer tool to make your line down, curve, curve, line down, curve. Ta-da! Last letter, big C, little c. And you can use your tracer tool to go over those curves. That's a really fun way to play while reviewing the letters that you learned how to write. Another fun thing I like to do, if you happen to have a little whiteboard like this, these little mini whiteboards come with a marker that has a little eraser on the top, and I think it's fun to have a parent or teacher make the letter for you, and then you get to use the other side of it and erase it. You start at the top and see if you could stay right on the lines and make the slide line, back to the top, slide line, line across. And you see how good you could do without leaving anything behind. Let's try lowercase or little a. I made the curve and the line down. Now you get to use your eraser to make a curve. Oh, I missed that line, that's okay. And line down, pretty close. Now let's do big B. Get your eraser and make your line down, curve, whoops, curve, and curve. Look at that. And we'll do little b. Have your parent or teacher make that for you first, and then you trace over it by erasing it. Is that so silly? I think this is a fun game. Try big C now. Big curve, woo! And little c is just a little curve. Ta-da! Those are just some fun things that you can do to practice handwriting. But I also love to use my tactile cards. You know that I think it's good for you to touch this line as you make it on these tactile cards and feel those bumps of the big C and the little c. Now comes the tricky part. Close your eyes and just feel the C. Feel it on your finger. Good. Open and go to the little c. Okay, close your eyes. Trace that curve. Did you do it? Good job, friends. You're so awesome. You're doing so great, and you're going to be so smart. Have a great day. Bye.